Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's your friendly neighborhood PM. So I've been gone so long, but my wife and I just welcomed our first child a couple weeks ago. But enough about that, and let's get right into what you're actually looking for. It's your top 3 points of the week. So without further ado, and kicking us right back off at point number 3, we're talking earnings, and it's Tesla reporting their quarterly earnings. Now, Tesla didn't have nearly as strong of a quarter as some were hoping. Despite a record quarter for vehicle sales, they saw operating profits drop around 40% year over year, and EPS also fall over 30% year over year on top of that. Now, Tesla continues to have to grapple with increased tariff policy headwinds for automakers, as well as the loss of their EV subsidies. Now, investors weren't as pumped as some would expect after the earnings call, as they do continue to pitch the vision of AI, robots, autonomous driving, but investors continue to look for more details, and the earnings call did not quite deliver on that front. At point number 2, it's another automaker. It was Ford, posting a really solid quarter and rallying as a result. Ford had a strong beat across the board, but what they did highlight is that they do anticipate a $1 to $2 billion headwind going forward to profits because of a fire at the Novelis aluminum plant. However, Ford did come out and say that they planned to be able to mitigate around $1 billion of that, given that they are going to be ramping up production of their F-Series pickups due to ongoing demand. And then finally, at number 1 for earnings this week, you might have guessed, you might have seen it in the headlines, it is Netflix falling close to 10% after announcing their quarterly earnings. Now, Netflix had relatively solid numbers across the board, but what really dragged the stock and what was impacting their profits and their margins was the fact that they had to take a $619 million payment due to a tax dispute that they've had ongoing in Brazil since 2022. Now, that did impact margins for this prior quarter, but the company has said that it does not expect it to impact future performance. And once again, Netflix continues to get powered by a strong slate of content that they have on their platform, namely K-pop Demon Hunters, which is their most popular movie of all time that they've had on their platform, as well as the second Happy Gilmore movie and the Canelo and Crawford boxing fight that was streamed live as well. So still a lot in the pipeline for Netflix, but they did have quite the tumble this past week. Now, that does it for your top 3 points this week. What are we checking out for next week? Well, we're still going to be checking out some more earnings, but on top of that, we are going to have the Fed's rate decision, and we are, once again, starting to see pricing in of a 25 basis point rate cut, but it'll probably be a hybrid approach next week on next week's video, but we will keep you posted then. Now, once again, that's this week's video. If you have additional questions, please reach out to your financial advisor or dig into the written week in review, and if you do not have a financial advisor, please hit that link and follow, and we can get you connected with somebody to answer all your questions. But as always, please go out, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you the same time next week. Thanks again.